This is Goku-san DBZ, and welcome back. This is a new 10 games worth buying. And instead of a console this time, it will be a genre of games which I loved in the 90s and mid-2000s. Survival horror. I'll show you some of the physical ones on this list and stuff that I mentioned. Now, some I have digital, so I can't actually show you, obviously. And this is going to be 10 horror games worth buying. Now, predominantly survival horror, or games that are heavily more lean towards horror aspect. And keep in mind, these are games only I personally played. With that said, honorable mentions. Of course, Slender Man, The 8 Pages. A pretty decent indie game that is fun time to time. Five Nights at Freddy's 3, aka FNAF 3. Siren, which by the way is for, of course, PS2. Dead Space 2, though I've only played the PS3 version of. Dino Crisis on the original PlayStation. Also, here's the Resident Evil 0. And here's the last three honorable mentions that are ones I actually do own. Silent Hill Origins, which is actually a really good return to form, I think, of Silent Hill games. It's actually really good. I don't consider this as much actual horror as a little bit more action-based. That's why this is only honorable mention. Resident Evil 4. It's a little more action-based, but there is still a lot of elements of horror. Of course, this is obviously the PS2 version, the one I played. And the last honorable mention, which is a hack and slash meets horror. Nightmare Creatures. Coming at number 10 is the only digital one on this list, by the way. I played this through PSN, though it's also available on mobile and stuff. I actually really enjoyed it. I want to try this, get the trendy packet. And coming at number 10 is easily the newest of all the games on here. Though you can get it besides on mobile, PC, PS4, Xbox One, pretty much every platform. And number 10 is Outlast. It's actually a really fun game. I'm surprised at how much genuinely I enjoyed it. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. Coming in at number 9, I feel is maybe one of the most underrated of the series. Silent Hill 4, The Room. It's actually a really good game. Seriously, if you ever get a chance, check it out. You can also get it on original Xbox. I'm not sure if you can get it or not on PS3, like on the PSN Classics or not. But seriously, if you ever get a chance, try out Silent Hill 4, The Room. It's a highly underrated in the Silent Hill series, in my personal opinion. Coming in at number 8, the original Resident Evil. Now, I have played the original version only on Sega Saturn, though. And, of course, this was the first version I actually played. I only recently got hold of the Japanese version, which is, of course, Biohazard, which is completely uncensored, unlike the American version. Unfortunately, all the text and everything is in Japanese, which kind of sucks, but all the dialogue and voice acting is all English. But this is, of course, Director's Cut. There are two versions. You have the regular Resident Evil, and then you have Director's Cut. Director's Cut is the easier version to get a hold of course, and cheaper. This won't set you back more than probably about $20 or so. It's not a big difference from what it was before. But if you want the original Resident Evil for PS1, not the director's cut, you're looking at probably paying about $50 plus for the original version. It's a little bit more rare. It didn't sell nearly as many copies. It was only released for a limited amount of time, like 2 years or so, and then they just did away with it and struck with only the director's cut. Unfortunately, I have yet to get my hands. I actually used to own it years back and stupidly got rid of it. Dumb me, I didn't realize it become a collector's item. Coming in at number 7. I played this, though it's also available on Xbox. I played it only for PS2. And that is the original Fatal Frame. Now, in case you don't know, Fatal Frame series, or trilogy if you will, I haven't played the supposed branch-off game, which is like a Nintendo exclusive, apparently. But Fatal Frame is amazing, and yes, made by the same company who did of course, Ninja Gaiden and others, though it did not include, obviously, a little Team Ninja. But, yeah, Tecmo produced the series, a trilogy, which is a really good, superb horror trilogy. It's survival horror, has a lot of the same mechanics, one difference. You don't have a gun, your weapon is a camera. With these girls, you have your only weapon. That's the only way you can also actually see the spirits, ghosts. It's based on ancient Japanese fears of the 1800s. Japanese superstition thought that, for instance, your soul would get sucked out if you had your picture taken. So they kind of took that to heart as one of the main game mechanics in the Fatal Frame series. It's actually quite fascinating and creepy as hell. Fatal Frame is actually creepier than Resident Evil and Silent Hill, just because of the fear of the unknown. Now, I do also feel Silent Hill's creepier than Resident Evil. Resident Evil is more about the blood, gore, and stuff type horror aspect. Silent Hill and Fatal Frame are based more about the psychological horror to mess with your mind. That tends to usually be a lot more, how shall I put this, a lot more successful. Next up, coming in number 6. I played only for the PlayStation. No, it's been on multiple ports over the years. I don't know how many. And that is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Which is still a really good game. Though originally it was going to be a side game. And what would be known as Veronica was originally going to be the mainline game. But Sony had a contract with them to make exclusive. The main line would have to be a Sony, so they got reversed. The side game would become the direct mainline game. Of course, with Jill Valentine. And Nemesis, which would become, of course, infamous as maybe one of the most well-known creature for the most part, and along with, of course, also a certain other character, like Wesker, would become two of the best well-known. Obviously, since both have ended up in the Versus crossover Marvel vs. Capcom series. Coming in at number 5. Played only for PS2. I regard it as easily the second best game in the entire Silent Hill series. Many people actually consider Silent Hill 2 to be the best in the series. I see where they're coming from, but for my own personal opinion, keep in mind, this is what the list is based on, my own personal view. But I definitely highly regard this as the number 5. I think if you're really big into survival horror games, I highly recommend you play the originals. And by the way, actually get the PS2 or Xbox game of this. Don't buy the HD. There's so many freaking bugs, and it's no surprise. Konami doesn't really give a damn what fans think. That's obvious when they fired Kojima and stopped Silent Hills though we're gonna begin a sort of different version of Silent Hills, with, of course, Death Stranding or something like that, which is a PS4 exclusive, which I'm looking forward to. With that said, I highly regard and recommend Silent Hill 2. It would be the debut of the famous now face of Silent Hill series, Pyramid Head. Coming in at number 4, I highly recommend. I played both the PS2 version as Code Veronica X, and also played the Dreamcast version, which is just called Veronica, of course. It would also get ports, obviously, on others, like GameCube, and also, I forget what other consoles it got other releases for. But, in my opinion, Resident Evil Code Veronica is the second best game in the Resident Evil series. Keep in mind, in my opinion, this is the last true Resident Evil game. It was the last true survival horror game before they went more towards an action version with, of course, Resident Evil 4 onward. Though it's come back to the survival horror feel, but in first-person view now for some reason. But I definitely highly recommend this game. Resident Evil Code Veronica X or Veronica is a very good, top-notch, well-done, true Resident Evil game. Coming in at number 3, I highly recommend, is in my opinion also the best of the Silent Hill series. The original Silent Hill for the PS1. Reason why this sticks with me through all these years is the first time I ever played this game, it literally, keep in mind, I was about 12 or 13 at the time when the Silent Hill first came out on PS1. That game literally messed with my head so much, I literally had like nightmares for a week plus. But it ended up making me fall in love with survival horror games later on. I gained a real obsession over horror movies, horror-themed games. And I have to thank it to games like the original Silent Hill. It was really the only survival horror game that ever actually genuinely gave me nightmares. So, I have to say, job well done, Silent Hill 1. You succeed where most others failed. Coming in at number 2, a true psychological horror, and it's by far the superior and strongest of the trilogy. In my personal opinion, I think the storytelling is better in this game also. Coming at number 2 is Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. It really is a good game. The storytelling aspect is top-notch, and the graphics definitely were improved as well, which really does help certain elements in the game. Coming at number 1 is, in my opinion, easily in the top 5 best PS1 games, and number 1 most recommended, and given how many ports there are over the years of this game, it's not that hard to get hold of. Number 1 most recommended survival horror game for any horror game fan, horror game enthusiast, or Resident Evil fan / Biohazard. I most recommend Resident Evil 2 as the number 1 pick. I love the character William Birkin, which of course was the one who created the G-Virus, the ultimate version, much more powerful than the T-Virus. The G-Virus. And you met a creature which would become the influence for Nemesis. But I love this game. I can't even describe how fun, how many times over the years I have played Resident Evil 2. It's just too much fun. With that said, get ready for comic book pickups is coming your way. And I'll see you all for some more gameplays of course, Gravity Rush Remastered. Also, I've started doing some plays. You can expect this weekend some uploads of Gravity Rush 2. And I'll see you all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Hope you enjoy this. And seriously, get a chance, if you haven't tried these, check out these games I recommend. They're really good survival horror games if you genuinely really enjoy a good, creepy game from time to time. The atmosphere in Resident Evil 2 is superb, as well as the soundtrack. That's a big thing, is the soundtrack in this game. But I'll see you all next time.